What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Worldwide Guide. Today we're taking a journey through the Emerald Isle. From dramatic cliffs and ancient tombs to vibrant cities and colorful coastal villages, Ireland is packed with history, beauty, and culture at every turn. Now come with me as we explore the best places to visit in Ireland. As you might be aware, Ireland's history is one of resilience, shaped by centuries of struggle, cultural pride, and an enduring connection to the land. From the ancient Celts and early Christian monks who left behind castles, monasteries, and stone circles, to the long period of English rule, the Irish developed a deep sense of identity and perseverance. There's a spirit of solidarity and storytelling here that you don't find in many countries, and has fostered the Irish traits we see today: warmth, hospitality, pride in heritage, and a belief in community, values that continue to define Ireland's people worldwide. We begin in Northern Ireland, which is actually still part of the United Kingdom, at the Giant's Causeway and the Antrim coast. The Giant's Causeway was formed around 60 million years ago during intense volcanic activity, which created around 40,000 interlocking basalt columns. However, Irish mythology provides a different story, that the giant, Finn McCool, built the causeway as a bridge to Scotland to challenge a rival giant. Whichever story you believe, this blend of geology and folklore has made the site one of Ireland's most enduring landmarks. Today, you can explore these ancient columns, which are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and other historic sites along the Antrim Coast Road, otherwise known as the Causeway Coastal Route. This road has been a lifeline for trade, fishing, and defense for centuries. Today, it's considered one of the most scenic drives in Europe, with other stops like the Dark Hedges, made famous by Game of Thrones as a filming location for the King's Road, and Dunluce Castle, which is over 900 years old and has been the site of sieges and feuds between clans over the centuries. The castle is perched atop cliffs right on the ocean, and is one of the most legendary castles in all of Ireland that you can visit. With its Celtic legends, rugged cliffs, hidden beaches, and winding roads, the Antrim coast is a must for anyone traveling to the north of the island. From here, we move west to the Wild Atlantic Way, a 2,500-kilometer coastal route stretching down Ireland's jagged western edge. Along the way, you'll encounter fishing villages, ancient ruins, and some of Ireland's most iconic landmarks. While this route starts much further north, we're going to start about halfway down it in Galway. Known as the City of the Tribes, Galway began as a medieval fishing settlement and later came to be ruled by 14 powerful merchant families who controlled all trade with Spain, Portugal, and France. This brought wealth to the city and shaped the architecture and identity that still influences the city today. Galway is also considered Ireland's capital of culture due to its vibrant art scene and famous art and film festivals. You'll also find tons of street performers and pubs filled with traditional Irish music and dancing. And speaking of Irish traditions, the nearby region of Connemara has actually become a refuge for them, especially the Irish language. Connemara's remoteness helped preserve Gaelic music, folklore, and crafts, even as English influence dominated other parts of the island. Here you can visit Kylemore Abbey, a 19th century Gothic mansion turned Benedictine monastery, hike in Connemara National Park, or check out charming fishing villages like Clifton. Back in Galway, today some highlights to visit are the Latin Quarter, filled with music, arts, and nightlife, and Galway Cathedral. With its beautiful coastal location and rich history, Galway and Connemara are definitely worth a couple days to explore. Heading a little south down the Atlantic Way, the Burren is one of Ireland's most unique landscapes. Stretching across rolling hills of exposed limestone, it looks almost barren at first glance. Over 300 million years of glacial activity and erosion, the limestone was carved into pavements riddled with cracks known as grikes, which shelter a surprising variety of plants, despite its stark appearance. Also scattered across the region for you to discover are Neolithic tombs, ring forts, and the famous Polnabrone dolmen, connecting the harsh landscape with Ireland's ancient past. The Burren is both desolate and beautiful, and is a place that captures Ireland's wild character in its bare stone and hidden life. Continuing south, we arrive at the famous Cliffs of Moher. Rising 700 feet above the Atlantic Ocean, They stretch for nearly 9 miles along the coast of County Clare, offering you unforgettable views of the Aran Islands and Galway Bay. Local folklore has given the cliffs legendary status, with myths of giants and spirits inhabiting their heights. Today, you can walk the cliffside paths, explore O'Brien's Tower, or take a boat tour from Dublin to see them from below. The cliffs are also home to puffins and razorbills, making them a birdwatcher's paradise. Standing on the edge of these cliffs was seriously one of the most epic experiences of my life. You just feel like you're at the edge of the world. If you're seeking connection to Ireland's myths and want breathtaking views, the Cliffs of Moher are an unmissable stop. Our next stop is the Aran Islands, Inishmore, Inishmaan, and Inisheer. They've been inhabited since prehistoric times, with some of the earliest settlers leaving behind stone forts and tombs. The most famous of these is Dún Aungasa, a prehistoric clifftop fort on Inishmore that dates back more than 2,000 years. The islands have also long been a stronghold of Gaelic culture, with the Irish language still widely spoken today. You can get to the islands via ferry from nearby cities like Galway and Dublin. And once you're there, cycling is one of the most popular ways to explore the islands, with rentals available near the ferry ports. Cycle past stone walls, explore ancient churches, and take in the windswept landscapes. Visiting the Aran Islands feels like stepping back into an earlier time, where the pace of life is slower and traditions remain strong. Heading back down the Atlantic Way, we arrive at the Dingle Peninsula, which has been inhabited for thousands of years, and its landscape is dotted with prehistoric monuments and early Christian sites. The Slayhead Drive is one of Ireland's most beautiful routes, offering breathtaking coastal views of towering mountains and quiet sandy beaches. In the town of Dingle, colorful shops, artisan cafes, and lively pubs keep the nights buzzing with traditional music. With friendly locals, a rich music scene, and stunning scenery, the Dingle Peninsula is a standout destination. And just around the corner is one of Ireland's most legendary road trips, and our last stop on the wild Atlantic Way. The Ring of Kerry is a 179-kilometer loop that showcases essentially everything Ireland is famous for: rolling green hills, dramatic coastlines, medieval ruins, and historic towns. Stops include Connemara, Cahersiveen, and Waterville, while Killarney National Park sits at the gateway with its lakes and mountains. And you can visit historical treasures like Ross Castle and natural wonders like the Gap of Dunlow. While it is one of Ireland's most popular tourist circuits, lucky for you, it does retain its charm thanks to the warmth of the local communities. It's no wonder this route has been a favorite for centuries. If you want to see the very best of Ireland, the Ring of Kerry is a must. We now move inland to one of Ireland's most dramatic historic sites. The Rock of Cashel sits high on a limestone outcrop and has been a symbol of power for over 1,000 years. Once the seat of the kings of Munster, it was gifted to the church in the 12th century, and later became a major religious center. Legend says this is where St. Patrick converted King Angus to Christianity in the 5th century, and with Ireland still a Catholic stronghold, that makes the Rock of Cashel one of the most significant locations in all of Ireland's history. Visiting today, you can explore the ruins, admire medieval frescoes, and enjoy panoramic views of Tipperary. The Rock of Cashel is a place where Ireland's royal and religious past comes alive in one dramatic setting. We now head north to Dublin, Ireland's capital. Dublin was founded by Vikings in the 9th century, and after 750 years of British rule, the 20th century saw Dublin at the heart of Ireland's independence movement. The capital is home to Trinity College and the famous Book of Kells, a 9th century illuminated manuscript considered one of Ireland's greatest treasures. A few highlights for you to visit are Dublin Castle, an 821-year-old complex that offers insight into centuries of British rule. The Guinness Storehouse, which features an excellent museum and is the perfect place to enjoy a rooftop pint with panoramic views over the city. This was definitely the best tasting Guinness I've ever had in my life. And the Temple Bar District, the heart of Dublin's nightlife, with pubs booming with traditional live music. Ultimately, Dublin is not just Ireland's capital, it's its soul, offering you a taste of everything that makes the country unforgettable. North of Dublin, our last stop is Newgrange, in the Boyne Valley. A passage tomb built around 3200 BC making it older than Stonehenge in England and the Egyptian pyramids. The tomb is aligned so that during the winter solstice, the rising sun illuminates the inner chamber, a stunning feat of prehistoric engineering. Today, you can walk inside the tombs and see the intricate carvings that have survived for millennia. Also nearby in Boyne Valley, you can visit the 851-year-old Trim Castle, the largest Norman castle in Ireland, and Bective Abbey, a Cistercian abbey, dating back to the year 1147. The valley also witnessed the pivotal Battle of the Boyne in 1690, a key moment in Irish history. The blend of myth, archaeology, and history makes the valley endlessly fascinating. I mean, it's not often you can stand inside a monument like Newgrange that's older than the pyramids. Truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And there are the best places to visit in Ireland. From windswept cliffs and prehistoric tombs to vibrant cities and colorful villages, Ireland is a land where history and beauty are always intertwined. Which of these destinations is at the top of your bucket list? Let me know in the comments. And if you've made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can join me on more journeys around the world. Goodbye for now, and safe travels.